Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of WordPress Heroes. Today we'll be talking about setting up a website complete soup to nuts from registering your domain down to setting up WordPress. So first thing that you do is you go and you pick a hosting company that you want to go with. Here we've decided to go with HostGator, and you would perform a domain search on the screen. After you've confirmed that the domain is available, you have the option to add domain privacy or not. What that is it allows you to purchase the domain and register it without exposing your home address, the address that you have for your company. So with privacy on, if somebody were to search for your domain, it would show up as the registered company of the registrar. So your personal information will not be exposed. So my recommendation, always purchase it as well. It's not too much. Um, Here on the screen, there was, you know, two domains that were just added by accident, so I just removed one, and everything looks good. I don't want to add Google Workspace at this point in time, so I'm just going to click on Continue to Checkout. Total bill for this is only $30 for registering this website. And if you already have an account with the hosting company, this is pretty seamless and streamlined. This is how the experience is going to be. If you don't, you can just create an account with the hosting company and it should be the same. So with this said, we have successfully registered a domain. So if you go click on websites now, and again, if you have HostGator as your hosting platform, you should be following these steps, clicking on Add Site, choose a website type, install WordPress. It's the website platform that runs the world. Um, and so you would enter a site title for this. Just type one in, click Continue. What we're doing here is we are adding it through. One of the things, as expected, is you get this error message that says domain you entered is not currently registered. It's because it's too fresh. It was just registered. So what we would do is just wait and give it another try. There we go, and it's working. So it took about 10 minutes. So in this video, I edited it out, obviously. There was about a 10-minute wait time between completing the checkout and coming to this screen. So if you wait about 10 minutes, your website will be, your domain will be registered and you'll be able to proceed with installing WordPress. All right, and the website files have been installed. WordPress is installed already, and we're good to go. The next step that we have to do here is log into WordPress. By default, the access point where your site is going to be serviced from is a temporary site. It's just something that it does at the very beginning, but I'll show you how to change that in a few minutes here. The prompt takes you through the process of setting up your website. So it launches very, very quickly, automatically. It asks you, what is your experience with WordPress? You could just put that information in there and it'll adjust the tutorial or the guided walkthrough as needed. It'll ask you what type of website this is. I'll just put educational, click on continue, and it asks you how they can help tailor the setup of your site. I just select educational and online course. Then you would just put in a site title. So here we're putting in WordPress Heroes. You would give it a description. And the next thing that you have to do is take a look at the additional offerings down here. There's some areas where you could put in some social media links if you have any. If you don't, you can go and skip it. You'll be able to upload a logo for your website. There you go. And it'll appear there as well as the fave icon, which is the browser image there. Clicking on next, the next section here is telling the system your top priority. If you're publishing, selling things, so on and so forth, you can select accordingly and click next. And the next screen that it eventually takes you to is selecting a theme for your website where you can then customize it moving forward. So there's a couple options here. Um, Based on your search criteria, you can select it as you want. And as you can see here in real time, you can see your logo appear there. So this is what your site's going to look like. But you don't have to stress out. You don't have to worry because you can change out the theme at any point in time. And that's one of the cool things about WordPress is they have so many different templates and themes that you can select. And in just a single click, you can have a complete website redesign. Completely free too. These are all free templates. They're all really well done, I would say. They're all pretty well polished website templates that you can utilize for your own needs. It's pretty awesome. The next section here, when you're customizing the site, is customizing the menu. And so you click around, here's some different options. Depending on what you feel like, what you like, you can select it. I like this one, so I'm going to click on next. And then you would take a look at the different options for a starter page, your first home page layout. There's ones that look like this. And it looks like these are all pretty cool. These are pretty nice. I will select this one and then click on next. And the next section here are the page layout. So here you get to choose some of the pre-populated pages that has pre-built for you, which is pretty awesome because these pages, templates, these little default filler pages are already built out. You can select an about page, contact us, testimonial. I like all of them, so I'm gonna click them all and they'll already be built for my site. And then here is an ability to select some plugins. And I'll talk about plugins in a later section where we can dive deeper into them. Plugins are essentially an extension, a little mechanism or feature that can extend your website. And they could be categorized as security plugins, some usability plugins, easier ways to build your website, so on and so forth. So again, I'll talk more about plugins when we get to the plugin section. There's so much to talk about there. Clicking on next, your site is ready to go. So all we have to do is launch the site and it will be published in the World Wide Web for everyone to see, for everyone to access via web browsers on desktop, laptops, mobile devices, cell phones, like everything. That's the one cool thing about website design and development and using WordPress is everything's so instantaneous and it's so far reaching. Any changes that you make can be made and seen across the world almost instantaneously. So it's pretty cool. So coming back to this screen here and clicking on websites, what I had mentioned at the earlier at the beginning of this tutorial is that there's a temporary location of where your site is getting served from. And so I had mentioned that I would explain how to fix that, and I will show you right now. All you have to do is scroll down to Settings and General. Go and click that General button. And here in the General Settings location, scroll down to find WordPress address URL. Go and switch out your actual domain name that you purchased here. And click on Save at the bottom, and your site will now load in a new browser. See, your freshly installed WordPress installation is now serving up these web pages. This is your home page when you type in your domain name in the browser, which is pretty cool. None of this was coded at all by you. Obviously, there's some redundant text there that we have to fix, but we'll take that up in another video. The last thing I wanted to share here is if you go back to the HostGator portal, you'll notice that SSL is turned on. You do have to wait a couple hours for that to happen. But once that happens and you load the website, you'll see that your site is securely loading. This is very important. If it doesn't, you should probably call HostGator and get that fixed.